So the next project we're going to make is the slider card. And this one has this little mechanism that allows you to slide your embellishment or your little character or even your greeting along the bottom. So let's get on and show you how to make this one. So you've got your card base, which is A5 in size once you've folded it along the score line, and you'll see you've got two open areas here. This is where your mechanism is going to slot in. So what we have is we have a pull strip, and then we have a circle, and then we also have this little rectangular panel which has score lines in. So to make this, what we need to do, we fold along the score lines, and we're going to do a kind of zigzag fold. So we're going to do a valley fold and then a mountain fold. I'm going to do the same on the other end. So again, a valley fold and then a mountain fold. And what we're going to do is we are going to attach this to the end of the slider. What we need to do first though is we need to put the slider piece through the slot like that, so that we know that's poking through there. Okay, so now we can open the card. What we need to do now is glue this piece onto our slider. Now what we've got to do is make sure that the square bit actually goes onto the end of the slider, and these little panels pop through the slider slit that we've got there. So we'll glue this in place, and then that will make a little bit more sense once we've got this on the end of the slider tab. So what we do is we just attach that right at the end like that. Give it a good press down so that it sticks. And then what we're going to do is pop these through the gap, just like that. Okay, so we have those like that. Once that's dry, it will slide along nicely. So we need to put something on top to hold that mechanism in. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the circle on top of there. So if you add a little bit of glue to these tabs here, and then we are going to stick the circle on top. So that just hides those little tabs, but it also means that we have got our slider mechanism assembled and it stays nice and snug, and we can move that along, as you can see, like that. Okay, so our next step, we have some frames. So we're going to glue our frames together. So again, I've done them in black and white. So we've got the largest frame, and then we've got the slightly smaller one. So we're going to glue this on, and then we'll put the even more narrow one on top of the white one. So we get a little bit of a contrast. Now let's pop this one on here. And we just slide that down right to the edge so that we cover up the outer edges of the black frame, but then we have the scalloped inner edges still showing like that. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to pop the black one on top of there. So we can add a little line of glue on there. Let's do a nice thin line on here because it's a thin frame. And then we can put this on top. So this is quite a simple one, but I think it has quite a bit of impact, and the fact that you've got that little moving character on the front, it's quite amusing and it's a fun project for a child, for a child's birthday card. Although I think even an adult would like it. So we've got our little frame on there like that. And then the frame will go onto the card. Now obviously, if I bring in the original one, you'll see I've inked the background on here, and then I've cut the toadstool house from the gnomes section of the USB, and I've done the little lady female gnome outside there, and I've actually added the snail to the little slider section at the end. So what we need to do now is put the frame on, and so I did that last of all once I'd actually decorated my card blank. So you can put this on with foam tape if you like. I've glued mine on. The only thing you have to remember if you're gluing it is that you don't glue along this section here. So you need to leave a gap where your slider piece is, otherwise it'll get trapped and you won't have that mechanism free. So what we'll do, we will glue along the top first of all, so just a line, and down the side, the right hand side, and on the bottom as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit it against my card. I'm going to bring a line of glue and I'm going to stop short of that, and again just there, so that I know that that mechanism is not going to get caught up with the glue. And then we're going to pop this on the top like that, just slide it along in place, press that down, and then again, because we've got a big card here, you actually get the inside mats for this too. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this on the inside. Now what you can do as well, if you wanted to hide that mechanism, you could use this to go over the top, but I would recommend that you put it over the top using some foam tape or some foam pads, and take into account the height of this. So you might have to do a double layer, but I would be happy to just put a paper insert in and that would cover up that, and there wouldn't be any gluing needed. So you at least know that tab would still pull quite freely. So we just put these little layers inside. Again, it's still nice to decorate it, maybe print a message on there for your child or your grandchild or whoever you're sending it to. And then there we go. So there we have our pull slider card. Nice and easy, quick and simple to do, but I think you'll agree with me, it's quite a fun one, and once you get character on there, you can really make it very fun indeed.